Hello everyone, once again this is Shadow Legend 25, also known as Kevin James. And today we're going to be taking a brief look. I was posed this question a while ago from my roommate, and he asked me, now that you have an iPhone, why do you still have an iPod? Very interesting question. I think it's a question that many people, including some of my viewers, have thought about, or even when they're thinking about purchasing the iPhone, they wonder, well, if I have an iPod, why should I have that still? And, to be honest with you, I had that similar question. I had a lot of, questions about why would I want to keep the iPod under those circumstances? Why keep the iPhone, why keep the iPod if you have the iPhone? There are like two main reasons why I recommend sometimes keeping an iPod. You don't always have to, but the first reason is battery life. The iPhone 4 to me actually has a really great battery, and that's fine. And so does the iPod Touch. However, what I do notice, however, is that the data power of the iPhone, which is this device over here, usually makes the battery run out much faster than just the iPod Touch. The iPod Touch, doesn't have to. The iPod Touch doesn't have to, it doesn't have to run on a 3G network. It doesn't have to run on Wi-Fi, so it has the ability to turn these things off and still work as a great device. As you can see, it's obvious that both devices, have the ability to pick up most apps today in our market. These devices might become obsolete soon enough, particularly because of the iPhone 5 coming out. But the first is always when it comes to battery life, and I find that at least with the iPod Touch, you're using more of the usage of listening to music. And if you're a heavy music user and you like to listen to music and do the occasional, messing around with your device, then I would recommend keeping the iPod Touch, just because of the nature of the more you've done, the more you do on the device, the more you don't want it to be on your primary device of communication, which is your iPhone. Like, my iPhone does have some music, some games, a few things of that nature, but the reality is that when it comes to the device, you always have to ensure that when you're taking on the device, that you balance out the programs, you balance out your music, you ensure that you can have a little bit of everything. But again, it's really battery life is the first reason. So, it takes the stress off of using your iPhone for everything. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't try to, but at the same time, it's probably a good idea to ensure that you have options and that, you don't put all your eggs in one basket. So, battery life is first. The second is space. And the thing about the iPhones today is that they have a great amount of space. 16 gigs is a lot of space to hold music. But however, I have the 8 gig device, so I'm kind of limited, which is fine. But at the same time, if you're a big music user, and let's say you get an iPhone and it doesn't hold enough space, you can leave the rest of it on your iPod Touch and function without it, and that's great. It's a good way to keep it. The third reason why it might be a good idea to keep the iPod Touch is not the greatest reason in the world, but it's a good reason nonetheless. It's a reason, not a good reason, but a reason in itself, is the fact that, with FaceTime and with iMessage, you have the ability to really communicate over Wi-Fi. And if you're a business user and you're really in a business environment, you can always use the device under those circumstances. So, for example, you have the iPod Touch that, if connected to Wi-Fi, it can pick up any iMessage that is sent to your connected devices. So if I get a device on the iPhone here, and let's say I don't have it with me, but I have the Touch with me, I can contact people through the Touch using that ability. Unfortunately, because there's no cellular data or messaging or any connected network to here, you only are able to use iMessage, which is fine if you have a lot of iPhone users and friends. So, those are my three reasons, and, you could take it or leave it as is. I'm not, I'm here to offer my opinions on why, you could do something with certain devices and why you shouldn't. Again, this is Kevin James. Let me know, comment on the bottom if you have any feedback or questions on future shows or things that I should feature on my channel to get it a little more active and lively. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great day.